I want to come back to something though, because I found this interesting. Again, I just saw my note there. That survey, the
Oh,
Gartner survey.
yeah.
Tell us about that 87%.
It is so I'm not going to call myself a data person. Some people are like data people, they live in the numbers. I'm not necessarily a data person. I like to use data to back up points. And so as I was constructing the speech, I said, you know what? Let me understand, what are people satisfied in their jobs? Because frankly, if they are satisfied, then there's probably no point for this. There's probably no point
Yeah,
in me
yeah,
talking, right?
yeah. Right, right, right.
So I ran across the Gartner survey, and it said basically that 87% of people working are dissatisfied. And it goes back to what the stakes are. I mean, if you sit back and think about that for a second, these are people that, back in the old days, you would go to the coffee room and you grab a coffee with, or you talk about the game on Monday morning. They're not very happy. So then it got me thinking about that group. But then I think also something more interesting, and I think at a later time I want to take a look at this. What's going on with the other people? Why are they so happy? How can we have this
That's an
gap?
interesting thought.
How can we have this gap of people who are extremely happy, and then we've got 87% of the people who are not happy? So that's probably one of the things I want to do in the future, is take a look at why that's the case. But 87%, it's a lot of folks, and it's you feel it. And you know how you feel it? You feel it because on Saturday morning or Thursday evening, you get a call from your friend, and they're probably complaining about their job and
Right.
what's going on and what's happening here and the things that are happening. We all feel it, but we just think it's a call from Susie. Oh, it's a call from Johnny. No, it's a call about their unhappiness at a place where 87% of people are unhappy.
What the reason why this is so huge, because you can fix this, if I'm following you correctly, in the hiring process. Because right now we're talking about roughly a little bit more than 1 out of every 10 employees you have, only one of them is happy, the rest of them are not. One of them is, but you fix that through the hiring process, and it'll take some time, but there's other ways you can fix it inside. But the hiring process, that's what it comes down to. Talk to me just a little bit about this idea that you had of a couple of days before the interview, giving that person a problem and saying, bring me your results.
Right. So you're exactly right. A lot of this can be fixed in the hiring process. I do think that there is probably also going to have to be some development at the manager level, some kind of training, because managers need to have their foot, they need to have skin in the game. I'm going to get to the problem one second, but I just want to make one note. The way in which we hire managers is interesting. So generally, in the corporate setting, if you are a fantastic individual contributor, you are then put in management. We don't really assess whether or not, as an individual contributor, you have the skills needed to lead people. So a lot of the times in these organizations, we've got great workers who don't know the first thing about people. And management is about people and not necessarily your expertise at doing something. Two totally different things.
It is. It is. If you do a good job on what you're doing, you get promoted.
That's right.
Without having any kind of training.
Right. I mean, like, using sports as an analogy. Phil Jackson played for the Knicks. Was he Michael Jordan? No. Bill Belichick played football. Was he Lawrence Taylor? No. They played the game. They would never be the greatest at that, but what they're very good at is the management of people. So I think it's going to take, from a development perspective, us to really assess and understand what traits we need as a manager, because it might actually be that person who does a C-level job C-B level job right now as an individual contributor, but
Mm-hmm.
man, can they lead people? Can they take the company to the next level? So I think companies need to look at that. Okay, I'll get back to your question. Sorry for
Okay.
going off on a
No,
tangent.
no, that's good because I'm going to go off it a little bit more. I think you're kind of saying a leader must be able to help his people go to grow and get better. Um, a leader takes vision to be a leader, and it takes you being able to share that vision with other people. It's easier if you hire right in the first place, though.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you
Absolutely.
coached me on that. I have that. I think I got that kind of good. Okay.